Our essential question in this video is, how do you find the area of a circle sector? How do you find the area of a circle sector, which is just a piece of a circle? Let's go through finding the area of a whole circle first. So we'll take a look at here. We've got a circle. I'm going to go ahead and do what we did last video. Let's go ahead and just draw a radius here. Again, the circumference of a circle and the area of a circle depend on the length of the radius. So let's go ahead and just label this as lowercase r. There's our radius of a circle. And the area of a whole circle is found with the formula area equals pi r squared. Pi r squared. So in this case, for this example, what if the radius was 8 feet? Then the area would be pi times 8 squared. And now we're going to go ahead and square the 8. 8 times 8 is 64. So the area would be 64. Remember, we put pi at the end. And now we got to be careful here. We know the radius is feet, but area is always in squared units. So this is 64 pi feet squared. So there is the entire area. That's all the space inside of this circle. And if we want to ask about two possible answers here, we've got our exact answer. The exact answer for the area is 64 pi feet squared. There's our exact answer. If we want an approximate answer, we can put that in our calculator. Let's do that. And let's put in 64 pi, and we'll get a decimal answer. 201.06, that's 201.1, so approximately 201.1 feet squared. Now that's not the exact answer. As soon as you put pi in your calculator, you are now rounding your answer. So an approximate answer rounded to one decimal is 201.1 feet squared. So now we know how to find the area of a circle. So the question now is, how do you find the area of the sector of a circle? How do you find the area of sector DEF? Let's create a sector DEF. So for this triangle, for this circle, we're going to go ahead and create two radii. And let's go ahead and label this as E, circle E. Let's label this as D and this as F. And let's say that the central angle formed by DEF is 88 degrees. And let's say this circle happens to be have a radius of 3 centimeters. Now what we're looking for, class, what we're going to calculate is, the last video we calculated how long the circumference is from D to F, or what is the length of arc DF. This time I want you to visualize, we're going to find out how much area is in this sector right here. So I'm just going to highlight it so you see. We want to know, what's the area of that piece right there? Well, the way to calculate this is really similar to finding the length of an arc. First, you got to find the whole area of the circle. For arcs, we found the circumference. For sector area, we'll find the whole area of the circle first. Well, this is going to be pi times radius squared. The radius is 3. And then we can go ahead and square the 3. So 3 squared is 9. Remember, we put the pi on the end. And then remember, we're going to have centimeters, and area is always in squared units, so centimeters squared. There's the whole area of the circle. That's everything. We only want this one piece. Since angle DEF is only 88 out of 360 degrees of the entire circle, think about this. If the whole circle is 360, then just like the length of an arc, this sector is just 88 degrees of the area of the whole circle. So 88 degrees out of a total of 360. That's our ratio, or our fraction. And so to find the area of sector DEF, all we do is take the entire area and multiply it by the fraction of the area that we want. Pretty simple to do. So let's work that out. Sector DEF is going to be equal to area, which is 9 pi, times our fraction, or our ratio of the amount of the circle that we want. And we're going to go ahead and put that in our calculator. We've got 9 pi times 88 divided by 360. There's the portion of the circle that we want, and we press equal, and we get approximately 6.91, so we can say approximately 6.9, and it's going to be same unit of measure, centimeters squared. So you can see, class, finding a sector area is just as easy as finding the length of an arc. You take the whole area of the circle and just figure out how much of the circle you actually want out of the total area. In this case, you want 88 out of 360. Let's take a look at another one. So here's another question. What is the area of sector RST? We're going to have to draw some things in this circle first. So let's go ahead and draw a couple radii. So let's draw one here, and we'll put one here. And let's label this as R. We'll label the circle as S, and we'll label this point on the circle as T. Let's say we're told that the angle measure of this central angle is 95 degrees. Oh, by the way, just like I did in the last video, if we know this central angle is 88 degrees, then we know that DF is also 88 degrees, arc DF. And if we know that the central angle here is 95, then the measure of arc RT is also 95 degrees. Okay, well, we're going to find the area of just this sector right here. I just want to know, oops, I wanted that to be pink. Let's fix that. I just want to know what this area is right here. I don't want the whole circle, I just want that area. But in order to do that, I've got to find the whole circle first. The area of the whole circle is pi r squared, which is pi, oh, we forgot to say how big this radius is. Let's say the radius of this circle is 12 centimeters. So now we know it is pi times 12, or radius squared. 12 squared is 144. Remember, we still have pi in there, and our unit of measure is centimeters squared because we're doing area. So 144 centimeters squared. All right, now we just want sector RST. And remember how we do this. It's pretty straightforward. We're going to go ahead and take the, let's do a symbol here. This is a symbol for sector. It's like an upside down triangle. Sector RST is equal to the whole area times the portion of the area that we want. The fraction of the area that we want, or you can think of it as the ratio of the area that we want. 95 divided by 360. So let's go ahead and plug in our area. Our area is 144 pi times how much of the circle we want to figure out, what piece of the circle we want to know. And we're going to go ahead and put that in our calculator. Let me move this over to the other side. And we've got 144 pi times 95 out of 360 degrees. 95 out of, which means 95 divided by 360 degrees. And we press equal, and we get 119.38. We can round that to 119.4. So approximately 119.4, and remember, this is an area measure. That means it's going to be centimeters squared. So that's all there is. Oh, 119.4. Yeah, that's correct. So there we go. There's how to find sector area. It's almost the same procedure as finding the length of an arc. All right, one more question. Pizza question. A pizza with a 22-inch diameter is cut into 6 equal slices. What is the area of one piece? Well, the first thing we have to do is figure out what our radius is, because we don't know it yet. Radius is diameter divided by 2. The diameter is 22 divided by 2. That's 11. So the radius is 11 inches. Let's go ahead and cut our pizza up real quick here. 1. I'm going to try to make it look like we divided it into 6 equal slices. There we go. And remember again, we are trying to figure out what is the area of one slice. Okay. Well, we got to know the full area, or the whole area of the circle first. It's pi r squared, which is pi, let's change our color to something we can see a little better. This is pi times 11 squared. 11 squared is 121. So 121 pi inches squared. There's our total area. Now think about this just like we did before. One slice is 1/6 of the whole pizza. We figured that out because you got 6 equal pieces and we just want one of those. So I'm going to make a little note. One piece is 1/6 of the pizza. Now remember, before we used degrees to figure out how big of a sector we had, but now we just can look at fractions. This is 1 out of 6. It's a ratio, 1 out of 6. So one piece is 1/6 of the pizza, so we can find the area of one slice is equal to the total area times how much of the area is represented by one slice, which is 1/6. Well, we know the area is 121 pi, so it's going to be 121 pi times 1/6. Let's go ahead and put that in our calculator. 121 pi times the fraction of the pizza that we want, or the ratio, 1 out of 6, and we get 63.35. we got to round that to 63.4. So approximately 63.4 inches squared. So the way we answer this question is, we would say the area of one piece of one, let's use the word slice, is approximately 63.4 square inches, or inches squared. One more thing as we wrap this up, I want to let you know, you could have also figured out what the measure of this central angle is. If you know that this pizza is divided up into 6 equal pieces, you could have taken 360 and divided it by 6, and you could have figured out that every piece has a central angle of 60 degrees. So you could have done area of the whole pizza times 60 divided by 360. You would have got the exact same answer, 63.4 inches squared. So if you want to spend the time to figure out what are the degrees of this central angle, no problem at all. I just think it's simple to think about this logically. If I'm going to take one piece out of 6 and all 6 slices are equal, then I'm just going to go ahead and find the area of 1/6 of the entire pizza. So there's some examples of how to find sector area, and we already did some examples of how to find arc length. We'll put those into practice on some worksheets.